It's too cold for me to be out shooting right now, so I thought maybe I'd go over one of my favorite guns with you. This is the Winchester 1897. I'm not a big shotgun guy, but this is an awesome firearm. These were the original assault weapons, first used by troops in World War I. The one pictured here is probably a forgery. There's a lot of them out there. There's a close-up of the heat shield and bayonet look. Mine is a civilian model from 1904, chambered for the 2.5-inch 12-gauge shell with a 30-inch full-choke barrel. It's had the snot beat out of it over the past 105 years, and the finish is down to single digits, but it still works like new. For the collectors, it's a complete and original Revision C takedown with a 3-screw forend. The shells are loaded through the port in the bottom of the action and stacked in a magazine under the barrel. When the slide comes back, the bolt opens, ejecting the spent shell and cocking the hammer. The carrier drops down, allowing a shell to slip in from the magazine. It then lifts the shell into place and the bolt pushes it into the chamber. The operation is pretty basic. There's no safety besides a half-cocked position that holds the hammer off the firing pin and locks out the trigger. You have to drop the hammer to that position from fully cocked while there's a round in the chamber, so referring to this as a safety is a matter of opinion. The hammer is simply pulled back all the way to return the gun to battery. The button on the side releases the action in the event you want to eject a live round. I really like the takedown feature. You push the latch in at the end of the magazine tube, turn the magazine 90 degrees, and slide it in the forestock forward. When the magazine disengages from the action, you turn the barrel assembly and it'll separate from the action. Pretty slick, huh? That slide action rail is forged steel. You can see how heavy it is. You don't need two of them. Here's a tight shot of the connection. Be careful when you put it back together. You can damage the fine threads on the barrel. One of the things this gun was famous for was a function called slam fire. If you hold down the trigger as you rack the slide, the hammer will drop and the gun will discharge. It's an incredibly inaccurate way to fire, even with double-up buck and a 20-inch barrel. Out of respect for a 100-year-old piece of history, I won't do it here. But PFC Lee Marvin of the United States Marine Corps has had more practice than I. I was going to add a segment covering a complete takedown, but then I looked at the screws and figured it was time for another rant. I field a lot of questions on Wiki Answers about taking down Winchester long guns. My response is always telling them to get a set of gunsmith screwdrivers first. This is why. This poor old thing has been sodomized over the years. Here's 3 screwdriver tips in the 8 to 10 range. The left is from a gunsmith set, the center is from Home Depot, and the right is from Snap-on. At first glance they may look the same, but look at the difference in the way that they're ground. It's important. To actually grip the slot down deep inside, the full width of the screw head. If you don't use them, you'll come to regret it in the end. So that's all for this episode. I can't think of anything else I can do till the weather breaks, but if you got something in mind, drop me a line. I'll see what I can do.